Look, you're watching somebody who has 350 subs on YouTube. Let's just say I know a thing or two about being a celebrity. However, despite this, I haven't once considered transferring my fame into a political career. In fact, a lot of people say celebrity politicians are inherently a bad thing. They say that they're ineffective leaders, they only care about themselves, and they don't understand modern politics. But is this really the case? After all, they keep popping up everywhere. Trump, Zelensky, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Imran Khan. So are celebrity politicians really that bad? So one of the main arguments against celebrity politicians is that they do not have enough political experience to understand what good policies are. This makes a lot of sense in principle, and a lot of the time it happens in real life. But I think a lot of the time what you see is that in real life, celebrity politicians moderate down their more outlandish policies from their campaigning, and they tend to depend more on their cabinet ministers once they're actually in office. Another one of the main counters to this argument is just that in practice, celebrity politicians aren't consistently really awful at their jobs. For example, Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he was governor of California, was elected to be governor of California by a greater margin the second time than he was the first time, despite having little to no experience with politics before that. And even someone as controversial as Donald Trump was not a complete and total outlier in their first term. Most of the policies that he passed were relatively normal Republican policies for the majority of his term. And so even if he was arguably a bad president who passed ineffective policies which damaged the lives of the people, he wasn't a completely out there different figure on the political scene when he was actually making policies. And even if there is the occasional celebrity politician who is completely ineffective and due to their lack of political experience can't rule effectively, the same thing applies to plenty of career politicians. Take Liz Truss, for example, in the UK, who is arguably one of the worst prime ministers Britain has ever had, and also a lifelong career politician. And that brings us on to one of the next arguments against celebrity politicians, which is that because they don't come from a political background, they don't have the same respect for the institutions of government. We've seen this play out a couple of times in recent history. I think one of the most obvious ones was the January 6th, whatever you want to call it, in the United States, when Trump supporters tried to overthrow the government because they believed that Trump should have stayed in power. And I think many people would argue that part of the reason this happened was because Trump didn't approach it as a conventional politician, and he didn't have the same respect for democratic institutions that his colleagues did. And similarly, in 2014, Imran Khan led a mass sit-in which closed down the capital city of Islamabad in Kazakhstan over alleged election fraud in what was one of the most secure and safe elections in Pakistan's history. The counter to this would just be that, on the other side, this outsiderness could be a positive, and the fact that they don't approach it with the same ingrained ideals as the other politicians could give them a fresh perspective on governance and make them more in touch with the people. Now, the third and final argument that I'm going to go through today is actually the one that I think is the biggest problem with celebrity politicians, which is that they shift the focus away from policy issues. So, because people engage with celebrity politicians as celebrities first, a lot of the time they aren't looking for specific policies that are going to improve their lives or improve the lives of people in their country because they're looking for charisma or trustworthiness or whatever personal character traits they would look for in a celebrity. And this has been weaponized on numerous occasions. For example, an article in the European Society's Journal said that the positions of Zelensky's SN on economic and sociocultural issues were intentionally blurry and elusive to reach a broader group of voters. So when Zelensky was running for president, his campaign made an explicit effort to make their policies as grainy and broad as possible so that people could just focus on the charisma of Zelensky and what they felt like he stood for. And obviously, Trump has done a bit of a similar thing. They're eating the cats and dogs and all the stuff to that effect. But it's been shown time and time again that celebrities distract from the actual policies and put more emphasis on the character of the politicians themselves. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you would like, subscribe to the Con Philippados YouTube channel, and for my longtime fans, I will be uploading regularly again. I was gifted, my microphone is going to plug out, but I was gifted a converter for my microphone, so I can now record videos again. So, thank you to all my wonderful fans. See you in the next video.